other. I don't think we should like try to eliminate what makes people different. Like I think that I think our culture tries to do that a lot. Be like, you know, there's no such thing as blank. I was like, there is though. And the more you try and fight against it,
I don't see color. Like, yes, you do.
Right? Are you colorblind? Right? Because you should still see shades if you're colorblind. But like you take away what makes people unique, and instead of elevating their gifts and what they do well, you basically demean it and tell them cover that up and not be, you know, if there is something that, you know, you grew up in, you know, that like you and I were just talking about, like you grew up on a farm, you know what I mean? Like, and there's certain perspectives that you have that no one else is going to have because of the way you grew up, you know, and I think that that's the same for all of us. Instead of trying to like quiet it, like, you know, elevate those things like that make people different and appreciate them for what it is that makes them different. Growing up in New York City though, like I was around like a bunch of different types of races, so it definitely made it easy. I know what high school you grew up in New York, Raf? Mm-hmm. You grew up in New York? Mm-hmm. Where you went to high school?
High school? Brooklyn College Academy.
Where?
That sounds so
Ain't that on the campus? Brooklyn College?
Yeah, if you like get to 11th and 12th grade, yeah.
Okay. So for me, my high school I went to had 4,000 kids, which it has its blessings and its curses, right? But the point is it was very diverse. And when you're a kid, you're not afraid to ask the other kids why you do this. Like you're not a kid. Really, that's high school.
Nobody took it offensively. It was just like
offensively. Not in my experience.
In my high school, because we also just had like a lot of white people that instead of like just asking and like to understand, they would ask to like and be ignorant while asking. So sometimes it was like. It just was like, hey, why do you like this food? Like, why does it smell like this? You know, why is your hair like that? Or they'll just like touch your hair. Yeah, I mean, that was not cool. Some people almost got fucked up for doing that in my school. A teacher once like asked my friend something about her hair, and man, I guess he's just lucky he was a teacher, right? It's like, it's ignorant.
Ignorance, no.
Dr. Raph?
Dr. Raph. I might get a doctorate someday. Aww. That's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Probably, yeah. You're not a very nice person. Anyway.
You're nice.
I am.
You can tell you grew up in New York. Anyway, keep going.
So I grew up, I was born in the Bronx. Then we moved to like East New York, Brownsville, and then what I remember like memory wise is like Crown. So I grew up in Crown Heights. Like I always say that. So like I grew up off of Empire Boulevard. So I'm like literally the only Hispanic kid. I grew up with a whole bunch of like in school. Everyone was either like, I mean right next to you, right by Utica. We went to PS21, so everyone was like either Trini, Jamaican, Haitian, like some kind of West Indian, some kind of flavor. Yeah. Right? So that's what I grew up around. Like my teachers, like my students. I knew no English because my parents didn't know English. So I went to school, like I had to figure it out. Like and then like my teacher knew Spanish. So that kinda helped. No, she didn't. The only thing she knew was mira aquí. That's all she knew. But she used to say that very threatening. And I was like, oh shit. You know what that means. Anyways, so I grew up with, right, so basically a whole bunch of black kids is what I grew up with, right? Like West Indian community. And then, so one side of the block was like real black. Then on the other side of the block was a whole like Jewish neighborhood. Because I lived right by Kingston, not too far, because I was on Troy Ave. So like, all I see is like Jews. And then West Indian, there's no like other Spanish kids. So like for me, like I learned besides my family. So I kind of just learned quickly, like, oh, there's a lot of types of people. And I think that's kind of helped me as an adult, like to understand culture, like culture in every facet, right? Like everything from like what we eat. Like a Honduran's breakfast or lunch is gonna look totally different than someone that's like Jamaican. Like they're gonna eat oxtail. I'm gonna eat like bagadas and tortillas and stuff. You know what I mean? Like but there's like, they're both dope, and it's just food.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what I mean? It's just what we grow up on, right?
Mhm.
So like, it allowed me to like to have more culture,
Mhm.
and it allowed me to see people as people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like, my
Yeah.
family, like, you know, they came from Honduras, right? And so like, that's a whole other thing. Like, it's one thing being of another race, it's a whole other thing feeling like you're an immigrant, or
Mhm.
being an immigrant, and then being a child from that. Because like, your whole upbringing is just totally different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sunday mornings, things have to be clean. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole other context. But yeah, man, like, it just really taught me to view like people as people, and to have complexity.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna find similarities, you're gonna find complete differences, and that's okay.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is when you whenever there's a dominant culture or type, just how the human nature like is to like elevate what the majority is. And, you know, and the crazy thing is, so throughout history, obviously, like, you know, there's definitely a stigma in white people, right? But you said the man. But
The mayor.
I thought you said the mayor too.
it's all funny. But like all of us have that capability to lord over other people.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as there is a majority, it almost always happens, like without fail. Like if there's a majority of men in the place, you're going to see, you know what I mean? Like things change and lean towards that being the superior, right? That works the same way if there's a minority of men and the majority of women. And that works the same with literally every single culture.
Yeah.
You know, where for me, when I was in Brooklyn, I'm not West Indian. I used to feel like less of a person because I didn't have a West, like being black was hard to find in New York City. Like it was weird. Like I was just like, you know what I mean? Like I grew up learning one thing, like I knew like my background and stuff. But when I would go out to like school and stuff, all my friends had like, they would switch on their West Indian accents.
Wow.
And I was just like, am I the only one? Like, I was like, I'm the only one that's not.
That's wild.
And the crazy thing is like, if I'm around, you know, just African American people who, and for those who don't understand like what that means is black people who were brought to America on slave ships and their whole family just grew up here. Like finding my identity in that, but we will still form a kingdom of black people and make anyone that's not of us feel like they don't belong. And every single culture can and will do that if given the opportunity. You know, it's just human nature. Like, and so we have to like war against that and celebrate what makes people different, not necessarily, you know.
Yo, that's crazy because like all the like kids that I grew up with, like to your point, like they're mad cool.
Yeah.
Like no one actually like, now that I think about it, like the first time I really like encountered like racism was like in the Spanish kids from other countries.
Wow.
Like the kids that make fun of me for being Honduran or whatever, or like all those stereotypes were like Colombian or like Mexican or like Ecuadorian.
Yep.
Like, and like with when I chilled with like black and stuff like that, like race came up because it was natural, but it was never like malicious. It was like silly.
Yeah.
It was like you know, like haha, you're short, or haha, like you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. It was never like yo, like that's how I learned how to roast people because I used to get roasted all the time.
That was me.
That
was me.
Form of like love. In a way, sometimes.
It's unhealthy, but
But
I understand.
comforting.
I understand.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like I find it makes you more like comfortable about these things that yourself that you would usually be like, oh, I hate this about myself. And it's like we addressed it. Like, all right, we get it. Like, we sure. It doesn't. I mean, for me, if that was, you know, for me, I'd probably not feel so. I mean, I wouldn't care then for young women, you know, or like whatever the case may be.
When you can enjoy what makes people different, when you do the roasting and stuff, it's like roasting with a sibling. You know,
That's
like me and the bald dude outside, his name is Daniel, so he's a friend of mine. So he's Mexican. And I'm like, and we roast each other all the time. But it's funny. Like it's just, you know, like Like if he's eating something OD spicy, and I love spicy food, but there's
levels.
Yo, if I'm being
There's
honest,
levels.
there's a place that I don't need to be. It's a neighborhood I don't need to be in. And he'll be, when he eats Chipotle,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, yo, this, it's not that hot, but when you eat so much of it, like, and he just be like, bro, what you want me to say? Like,
Like I had a friend
and I'm like, oh, Mexicans like this. Right?
I had a Mexican friend that was like, yo, dead ass, bro. Like we would be chilling, we'd go to work with
If
him.
anyone doubted that you grew up in New York, that last sentence was your
I was
validation
just
right
gonna say
there.
that.
That was your MetroCard of his grammatical MetroCard.
That's funny. That's how I talk regular. Nah, real talk, right? So we used to go to work and then we'd be chilling. This dude would turn on the stove, throw a bunch of like maize tortillas on, and then roll them up and then eat a jalapeno pepper like straight out the can. Like when I tell you he was Mexican. And like I would crack jokes on him, but like he didn't care. And like it was in love. Like it was never like malicious, but like like that's just certain things are just kind of fun. Like it's just what it is. But like to him it was just like, yeah, this is dinner.
Right.
Oh my
He would
God.
chomp on all the pepper.
Yeah.
Like I tried him, I'm like, yo.
Right. I don't need to be here.
That's
As far as
endurance like savory stuff. We're not trying to like put the heat up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great.
What about you guys?
I was gonna say, I feel like you want to say something. You kept saying.
Going back to like making jokes, for me it was a little bit different, but it was beautiful like coming out of it and growing up with it, because like I grew up, I would go to school and then would come out and be outside. Like in Kenya, we grew up in the savannah, so like real talk, like my house was not
Wait,
even.
when you say savannah, that's the desert?
No, not the desert.
See, look, I'm ignorant. Help me.
That
Yo,
is
he's
savannah.
only been sick, bro.
That's like the grasslands. Like
Oh,
where
yes, of course.
elephants.
Oh, I had it mixed with.
Sahara.
No, I thought of 3 S words, and I don't want to
Come
mention
on,
them.
you watch The Lion King, right?
I'm here. I'm
This is
with
the
you.
biggest-
You said
biggest-
grasslands. I'm with you. Yes.
Perfect. So I
You
kid you not.
automatically felt that once you said grassland. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yes.
Grasslands, yes, yes.
The word you said savannah.
Yes.
Savannah.
Not Savannah, Georgia. It's the
Right.
Savannah.
Right. I was like, hold on. Oh, so
I
the
also-
savannah.
I also lived in Savannah for 5 years.
Yeah.
The 3 words were savannah, Sahara, and Serengeti. I was like, wait. Oh,
Serengeti
boy. I failed this class.
But anyways, so
Okay.
the Savannah.
I'm with you.
And at this time, I was living in a military barracks or like base, and the
I
base.
didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad was in the military, and the base had a fence on it, and literally like on the other side of the fence was the grasslands of Savannah. So like my house was about a mile to the gates, and me and my brothers and my friends, like every weekend, we didn't do this like during school, but every weekend we would go hop the fence and we would go into the Savannah. And
Were
we
you
would,
not
like,
supposed to hop the fence?
Oh no, it was
Oh, you
just.
did.
I mean, yes and no, but it was one of those things. It was
You just
outside.
did it, yeah.
So we did everything outside, whether it was like chasing hippos and running away from like
What?
dinosaurs.
Dope.
No, like for real. Like I actually have this story where I got bit by a cheetah, but
What?
like that's not a story for none of it.
If I've ever heard
This
anything.
is better than your.
I was just gonna say,
Wow.
I'm nothing compared
No,
to
like
you.
yeah, I have the.
Show us.
You gotta show us, bro. This is the most
Yeah.
African
It was-
thing.
no, no, no. It wasn't in a while though.
Like
Okay.
cheetah.
No, it wasn't
It
in a while.
was.
So
It is.
I'm
my.
sorry.
My,
Let's put it out there.
no, so it's not anything like it was like a baby cub. So my
Oh.
and so my uncle
No, you're not gonna act like what you said was regular.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you do not get that and be like, yo, I was at Prospect Park and this cheetah.
Alright, let me make sure. So my uncle worked like as like a ranger or something. So he took care of animals like in Savannah that like during the dry season when they like were migrating south, there were some animals like whether they got wounded or whether like they died from like starvation or whatever. He would go and take care of them and then nurture them back to life.
This is the best story I've
And
ever
then
heard.
like he would
Ever.
tag them and then send them back into the savannah and like keep track of them. So during this one summer, he had a baby cub cheetah with him, that he was taking care of, nurturing back to life, and I made the mistake of like trying to pet it like a cat. I grew up with cats, so I love cats. So this baby cat was like this big, and it was the cutest thing ever. I would show you guys.
Does it have the spiky hair?
Yeah, the spiky hair. So like
The cheetah
I was playing with it, and then I like dropped it, and like it like clung onto me, and then like bit me right here. So you can see like the two teeth marks right there. It was the cutest thing. So I pissed my pants. I pooped my pants. I pissed my pants. Yeah, of course I did. I was 7 years old. So, but anyways, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is I grew up like
I almost dropped the baby cheetah. So
no, I grew up like
hate when that happens.
I grew up like like hunting like birds and like running around with gazelles and zebras and like
yo, what are you doing here? It's whack here.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm trying to say. So like that was my childhood. And moving to I also moved into the city when I was in Kenya, and then moving to America. I moved into I was actually in Baltimore. I was in the ghetto of Maryland. Baltimore, yeah. And it was rough because. Coming here, like I had the thickest of African accents, I barely knew any English, and I was in school with a predominantly African American, like that's what the school it was African Americans or blacks, and for me I was like as dark if not darker than them, but I had this thick accent, and this is middle school, so you can kind of imagine like this dude is this dude is black. Dude, this dude is an African booty scratcher, like all that stuff. And for me, I didn't know what I was because I wasn't West African, because that wasn't my culture or like my ancestors, my tradition. But I knew of slavery. Actually, Kenya. We had our own type of slavery that we sent to India and we sent to Portugal. Like it's its own story. Wow. And also like South Africa actually has, I'm not sure how much you guys know of world history, but they have their history with slavery and stuff. But in the sense of American slavery, I had to learn about American history like from scratch as a middle school student. So I didn't know anything about the culture, about the history, about anything. And getting all these words, I was always confused. And I didn't fit in, with people who had the same skin color as me. They didn't talk like me. They didn't listen to the same music as me. But at the same time, I wasn't white, so I couldn't like hang out with the white kids. So I was isolated, and the jokes and the roasting, it was hard at first of all. But the more I started learning the culture, the more I started living with people around me, the kids around me, the more I started realizing, this is something that I have to go through. And the more I went through it, it just built my skin a little bit tougher and tougher. The next time I was engaging in a different context. So when I moved to Savannah, this is Savannah, Georgia, I was able to like relate with the black kids there, but also I was able to relate with the white kids there too. I'm like, I know what you guys are about, I can hang with you guys a little bit, I can talk like you guys. Black guy with the black community, I was like, I can roll with you guys. I don't know, I can't play basketball, but I know a little bit about J. Cole, I know a little bit about Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne was popping back then. So it was just going back to what I said earlier, finding the commonalities between the races, the cultures that I was trying to fit in towards. It started off being hard, but the more I started realizing that it's more behind the roasting, behind like the insults, like it became beautiful. Because now, I think you mentioned this to me a couple weeks ago too, where like I can find myself comfortable in any setting with any group of people in any culture. Like I'll contextualize. If we're in a room and we have a bunch of white people, that I've never seen black people, I can relate with them. I can have a conversation with them. If I was in a room with a bunch of Hispanics or a bunch of Asians or a bunch of Africans, I'm like, let's talk.
Right.
So I think that was my experience. It was very hard, but it was also beautiful in the midst of it. So.
Thanks, bro.
I feel that. That's beautiful.
That also allows you to have a larger reach in some cases.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you can wear multiple hats if necessary, you know, in order to connect with people. Like that's definitely something that growing up in multicultural environments has allowed me to do is you know, be able to connect with someone, you know, who's not like you. So.
It's fun. It's so fun, like seeing the similarities. I remember one time, literally when we went dancing. Remember when we went dancing?
Salsa?
Yeah, we went salsa dancing, and I was dancing with Akoo. And he started showing me a Kenyan dance in the middle of the song, and it worked like with the music, like, and we were just like, oh, it goes perfectly. He was like, oh, this reminds me of this dance, and so he was like showing me a bunch of dances, and I was showing him how to do like the Hispanic dances, but it was like awesome. I was like, I can do this
I
well.
remember
I'm
seeing
like,
you guys do
all right,
that.
invite me to the next wedding. I'm gonna go off. Okay.
What do we got now?
So I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. I don't have any other questions, but I feel like
Let's talk about politics right now.
Ooh, I'm joking. I hate politics so much.
Honestly, I really don't.
Big piece, though. All right.
Okay.
Great job today, guys.
Yeah.
Great job, guys.
Yeah, this was good.
Hey, yo,
Proud of
thanks for
us.
coming down.
Dude, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you guys for coming.
Hey,
Xena?
get in it. Oh,
You're-
why not? Let's
Pick
go.
a bomb.
Hey.
Why not just clap?
Yes.
Capture. Ready? No. 1, 2, 3.
Alright. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe below. I'm just kidding.
No, she isn't.
Yeah.
Man, it's
Oh,
way
wait,
too
I'm
easy.
breakfast
Proud of
instead
you.
of the-
You're gonna like take all this and bake it.
Yeah.
I stopped.
Okay.
It says
No, it's
processing.
processing. Alright.
Why are you just transcribing
Because
it?
in my paper for my class, I have to like put the
paper
conversation. Like I don't have to put the whole thing in, but I also wanted to just
To highlight.
This felt like a city group.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Talking about our feelings.
Okay, everybody say bye to the camera.
Bye.
Here.